AITA for telling my son if he can't accept me he can leave. I, 39F, have a son, 20M, with my husband, 50M. I married and moved to my husband's country shortly before I had my son. My marriage was not a happy one. I couldn't leave Bekasu. I would risk losing custody of my son. When he was 18, I told my husband I wanted a divorce and moved out. My husband refuses to accept it and keeps dragging the divorce on. Since leaving him, my life has been better than it has ever been. I am exploring my bisexuality. I have been out since I was 20 but never explored it. Making friends that aren't his and just living my own life. My son has been distant since I left my husband. At first he kept asking me to attend couples therapy with my husband. When I started dating he was mad and said I was cheating. I have spoken with him about this many times. Tonight he came over late unannounced at around 22:30 wanting to talk about an issue with a friend. I had a female friend staying over. My friend got ready to leave so I could be with my son, but he got angry and yelled at her for breaking up a marriage. I stepped in and firmly told my son I have been separated from his father for 2 years and am divorcing him. He kept getting more angry, saying I was betraying him. I finally had enough and told him if he can't accept me he can leave. He left and my husband is calling my phone yelling at me that I'm a horrible mother. AITA? I have been trying to talk to him about this for 2 years to no avail. Edit. My son doesn't want therapy with him or the two of us. In the beginning we did family therapy, which I thought would help us move forward. It was just the two of them trying to make me feel guilty for leaving and asking me to give my husband another chance. The therapist put a stop to it and we didn't go back. I didn't start dating until a year after separating from my husband. When I started dating I let my son know that's what I was doing. NTA. But from what you've said, his issue isn't with you being bisexual. It's with the fact that you're seeing someone else. Regardless of who it is. He obviously feels let down and betrayed by your new relationship. Emo. It sounds like your options are either to give him space or offer to go to therapy together to talk things through in a structured way. He's obviously really struggling to process what's happened. NTA. He's 20 years old and should be able to process that you are separated from his father. It sounds like he's highly manipulated by the father, and he's not hearing the word separated. Honestly, it's a little bit delusional to tell someone they're breaking up a marriage when you aren't together anymore. As a mother, I feel for you and think you should go to counseling with your son. Hopefully some therapy can help him realize what's going on and so he can stop putting blame on you. But you deserve to be happy also. Hang in there and I hope he comes around to understanding. Edited for grammar. NTA. You know the saying, you should teach your children about disappointment early on. BC people are not gonna behave as you want them to and they will do things that you won't like, but you gotta accept that and move on. Everyone's got a life and they live it as they see fit. You can't be sore because someone is putting you lower on their priority list. Your son needs to work out his issues over your separation by himself. He's 20, goddammit. Info. Have you told your son that you were miserable in your marriage for years and only stayed for him? Obviously it's not appropriate to give him all the details or use him as your therapist, but that doesn't mean you tell him nothing. He clearly has his dad's side of the story being told. It doesn't make sense for one parent to take the high road when the other parent is not and is poisoning the child's mind. Figure out a suitably censored version of why you were miserable and share it with him. Although of course, it depends what "not a happy marriage" means. Does it just mean you weren't able to have sex with women? Or were you a bit bored? Or was he abusive? It will make a big difference to your son. NTA, it sounds like your soon-to-be ex-husband has been poisoning your son's mind for years. Hopefully he will grow up to accept your divorce and be able to have a decent relationship with you. But if he keeps listening to his father, that may not happen. NTA, your husband and son sound like a team. Oh, this age math is really rough. Clearly your kid's world is rocked. No one is the save the old man you divorced. This seems just like the other post, except the woman got in shape, had a social calendar, and had a 26-year-old male friend when her son unexpectedly stopped by. NTA, good job for clearly setting boundaries. It can be very hard, especially when it's your loved ones who need the boundaries set. Sue, your son is 20 and you are 39. That would mean you gave birth at 19, so probably pregnant at 18. Stands to reason your husband very likely groomed you? I mean, the fact that your son can't see this is a bit startling. TBR NTA at all, and I hope your son sees sense soon. You might want to check the laws of your area. You've been separated for 2 years. You might be able to force through a divorce against your husband even without his agreement. NTA, they're both manipulating you. Obviously your son is on your ex's side. Go low contact if he keeps pushing. NTA, your son will have to accept your life and will come to realize all you sacrificed to keep him in a living family. He's just hurt because, and part of that might just be his father in his ear. But over time he will come around. Hate that I've been on here all day and know you reposted this story with wildly different details. Lol. So did you leave him during the pandemic because he was depressed or not? NTA, you stuck with a horrible marriage until your son was a legal adult. It's time that you get to move on and have the life you deserve. You didn't betray your son. You just aren't doing what he wants you to do. Too freaking bad. Life doesn't work that way. And it's high time he learned that. You aren't a horrible mother. Your ex and your son are the Oz in this situation.
NTA.
NTA, it sounds like your soon-to-be ex-husband has been poisoning your son's mind for years. Hopefully he will learn to accept your divorce and you can have a good relationship with him. But if he keeps listening to your ex-husband, it may not happen. NTA, but sounds like your son kind of is. While I can understand being upset or angry over what he perceived as his family breaking up, he is more than old enough to understand people splitting. I've seen plenty of comments saying he's being manipulated by his father and I don't care. You're telling him differently and he's refusing to listen. You did the right thing and either he'll get over it or he won't. NTA. NTA. You tried, but he's just not accepting reality. It's possible your husband is lying to him about you. But in any case, there's only so much you can do. Not living your life the way you want isn't an option. You did that for 18 years. For his sake, enough. Stop trying to explain things to your son. He gets it, he just doesn't like it and wants you to change your mind. Go NC for a short time. Go NC with husband for foreseeable future. After a while interact with son only on neutral subjects: the weather, flowers, space travel, cities in Europe, movies, food, police brutality, Taylor Swift, football, music, fashion, cars, favorite colors, dolphins, forest fires, Harry Potter, Elvis, the president. If he brings up unpleasant topics, leave the room or house or have him leave. Every time. Do not explain yourself or justify your actions.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.